And now I don't know if there were, I think that I would like to open it up to like folks to share their experience during this isolation time also, because I think that many things that are interesting is how like many people were dating before this was happening, and then suddenly everyone was in lockdown and there was the fear of the other. So I've spoke with friends that were still like on dating apps and trying to like get connected. So if anyone wants to share any of these, I would love to hear people's stories during this time. And if also if there's any questions for our friends, it would be, this is the time. I would love to open it up.
I can start sharing something personal if you would, but interrupt me any moment if you are there and want to talk about your experience. Also, there is a guest here, which is Flavio, that was the host of this Zoom community I had during the quarantine, where we mostly shared readings and books and philosophy, and we met new people every day because it was, you know, an open Facebook group where people could join us and see the topics of the day, basically as you are doing, guys. But through this, I met new people. I started new online relationships. I did some sexting, but you know, for my point of view, this period was really uh, based on thinking about what's real, because is knowing someone online in a period where you cannot have an offline life real, and how is like discovering a new person that you have never met before online. And to me this is a big topic because apparently you know, online relationship were always considered less real than the one you do in you have offline. But when you are forced to be in an online space to practice your freedom and to practice the part of you that is human and that is not just working or consuming, which are the only two things that are allowed at the moment, is it still real? That I really would like to know what you think about it. If like, no, is it knowing and having a relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is, as much real as it is online, offline, pardon?
Yeah, I'd love to hear if folks want to have a like good answer to this. It's hard for me because I have a relationship and I'm with my partner at all times. So for me, there was not much difference. And I never experienced like dating apps, but I know of many friends that have been extremely active during these times. So I really would love to know like what are people thinking around these topics actually.
I'll talk a little later because I know you want me to.
Thank you.
I was seeing someone up till like a few days ago, and we were like mostly talking online, but they also don't live that far away from me, so we were going on like distance dates in the park. Like we just walk around Prospect Park, and hang out that way, and like it like felt pretty similar to how it did before quarantine. I mean, like without the like physical element, but like still being able to see that person and communicate with them, like still carried a weight for me that kept it like as real as it was before, you know? Yeah, I was hesitant to talk about it because like we broke up a couple days ago, but like, yeah.
Oh. Were you having more of a relationship, of a digital relationship with this person during this time compared to before?
Uh, like, I guess so. Like, yes and no. I mean, like, I also, since, and maybe this is a thing for other people too, but I've like just sunk so deeply into my work and like my own self improvement that like maintaining that connection became very secondary for me, and like trying to keep any kind of like sexual energy going just became more of a labor than I needed, you know? Um, but so I'm kind of like focusing more inward, I guess. But the friendship element of it didn't waver.
That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sorry that you broke up 2 days ago.
We're still, like I said, the friendship didn't waver. I just like wasn't. I guess like the interesting thing about it is like, especially in relation to like what we're talking about here, is that like the sexual element of it like did kind of waver. You know, like that really didn't hold in the same way that the friendship did.
Thanks for sharing. Sexting is a very delicate topic for us because there is no safe platform for sexting. I don't know if you know any safe platform, please let me know. But you know, even with disappearing messages on Telegram or Instagram, the risk of a screenshot is behind the corner. And in order to have a sexting session with someone, that especially if you don't know this person from before, it's like an act of trust and an act of really communication. And I hope that this period where people were separated and had to practice communication more will improve in general sexual communication and communication in general with people you like and want to become sexual with. um, because what we notice is that the main, you know, tip and trick we give to people is just talk about what you like, talk about what you need, talk about your boundaries, talk how far you want to go. It's amazing when you can start having a session with someone that knows what you like, what you don't like. So that was something. I guess I hope, at least I'm an optimistic person, that this has teached to many people to respect and communicate. What do you think about it?
I'll say something on that. Sorry, I don't have my video on my bad neck injury. But I think that with sexting, I think it's really wherever you are. You know, it is about trusting that somebody won't screenshot that message and send it. And it is about communication. And it's also like what I find really interesting, especially now, and just to I know somebody was saying, like, does it feel real to have online relationships when you really can't be in the same room as them? I question that a lot. I had a really, and I'm going to talk about this because I feel like it is relevant to this. I had a really weird experience where I've done dating apps, but when the pandemic happened, somebody on Instagram reached out to me and was like, I'm a really big fan of a lot of the work that you do. And we started talking because I was a fan of their work and they live out in California. And it became this thing where I started talking to this person every day. We've talked every day for 3 months, but I feel it is not a real relationship. I feel like it's a friendship, but they try to make it more romantic than I feel it is. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't sext. And like they can't, I don't even think that they can bring themselves to do that, and that might be like a personal thing, but like I personally wouldn't engage because I don't trust them and I don't feel like it's real. And like I think ultimately whatever platform you use, it's always a matter of like, it's always a matter of trust, and it's really being open, because sometimes people could say things that really turn you off. And like I've dealt with the situation where somebody says something, I'm like, oh no, I don't like where your mindset is, because we're in really different mindsets about, I guess, sex in this situation. And like, I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but I usually don't know how to respond if I don't like what somebody's texting me. My usual MO is just to like end the conversation right there. It's like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. I can walk into another room and leave my phone, and that just all stopped. And if it was like real life, you don't just, well, you do pick yourself up and leave a bedroom, but like, it's a much easier process. And I don't know if anybody else experiences like online dating and feeling like it's less valid, but I feel like that's really also unfair to the other person to say like, your experience, our communication, and like your connection to me isn't valid because we're not in the same room. And I don't know. That's just my thoughts on those things.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Did someone else meet somebody like Emily while in isolation, so never met this person before, and then suddenly you're like trying to have a sentimental relationship or like feelings with someone that you never met before? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been like talking to a lot of guys, which has been like kind of interesting. Mostly because I mean, I'm like gay in New York, so I mean, like there's like I'm like perpetually, I feel like most of my sex life is like mediated through dating apps and stuff like that. That's just kind of like always how it's been. But trying to make that transition into like actually, it's kind of difficult for me to really like invest in like I just, it's like such a weird, a lot of I guess it's weird to date right now, just because like I feel like for like dating and like hookup apps and stuff like that, like especially in gay culture, it's like a lot about like instant gratification, and like we're dropping a pin, we're meeting up, this is what we're doing, talking, all that, you know what I mean? It's like fast food in a lot of way, unfortunately, which is like kind of takes off the romance a lot from kind of, you know, everybody kind of kind of learns their own kind of healthy sexual, you know, relationship to like hookups and stuff like that. But I think like I've tried to make an effort to like really like reach out to people that I like have been interested in on like Instagram or something like that. Like I don't really slide into DMs or anything, so this is like a fairly new thing for me. But I am, yeah, I think in the same way where it's like kind of similar to Emily, it's just like there's like two people that I've really been kind of talking to like super regularly, but I'm also realizing that now getting into like talking to them for like a couple months, like I'm trying to find ways to not make it feel like I want to get to know you, and I'm trying to like I enjoy talking to you, but it's starting to feel a bit redundant almost, you know, like just trying to keep things like moving forward. And then also like that whole I'm not the best at sexting for some reason. I feel like I have to like type paragraphs out like fucking like E.E. Cummings or something like that. Like I have to be some sort of like poet to like really, you know, make sexting kind of like passionate, especially when it's like somebody that you've never actually had like intimate relationships with. So it's like I think right now like I'm like trying, because I would like to meet up. They're both people that live in the city. I'd like to meet up with them afterwards, but I'm like trying to figure out like how do you even take that extra incentive of like trying to make something out of this time when there's an obvious attraction, but avenues of communication just seem like a little muddled. I guess maybe it's just like more of just like a waiting game almost. I don't know. Has anybody else felt that, or?
Definitely, definitely. Thanks for sharing. And if you would like to share, since you know we are super interested in sex toys and how they are used, did it change your relationship with your sex toys in this period? No matter if you were in a relationship with and you were living with the person you use the sex toys with, or it was just solo. Like, do you use it? Do you like it? Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely bought more sex toys since quarantine.
Like,
So I mean,
I was just like, so spend $100.
that's what the stimulus check is for. Listen. I mean, if nobody else is taking care of business, you got to take things in your own hands. So it's just like, but it's like trying to figure out, like, I have yet to have I haven't had like a Zoom sex chat or whatever, like, or like kind of like phone sex and shit like that. Like, it's just not my forte.
We had
I
this
wish.
motto. We had this thing we said for all quarantine time, and still now we're saying there is lavati le mani e mettitele nelle mutande, which is wash your hands and put it in your panties. Like you was always supposed to do, you know, if you are like you wash your hands, you know, to touch yourself. So just do it for also touching other parts of your body.
I'm a fan.
I feel like I've kind of had like this opposite thing happen where I had a lot of compartmentalized relationships where like this one was flirting, this is a femme top I see in Philly, this is my more serious romantic relationship, and then it like I was stuck with, I don't want to use that word, maybe it's a little harsh, but I felt stuck with this one person who I couldn't get a lot of things from, and then I kind of was mad that I can't see any of the other people I want to see, and then I felt kind of like narrowed into this very serious singular relationship I didn't want to be in because we were quarantined together, and the relationship completely fell apart. Well, it was like the one I had left, and then it like just combusted because the pressure I think was too big, and a lot of really serious things happened, and now I'm just like, I chose to be like alone because I'm like, well, this is miserable and very toxic. I think I'd rather literally just be alone and isolated than have to cater to your emotions anymore. And like,
with or without sex toys, isolated?
Oh, I literally, the second they left, I don't think I left my bed for 2 days because I just wanted my release, my pleasure, and to not listen to, like, not even think about anyone but myself for like, I think 48 hours straight. My Hitachi wand sleeps on a pillow next to me. I tuck it in. But I think that relationships were going to be hard no matter what. It's either you weren't with anybody and now you're like trying to make a relationship happen in the ether, unable to ever meet safely, really. I mean, a lot of people compromise and do it anyway. But or you were in a relationship and no matter what, it's serious now because you're stuck with this person. And I found very quickly that I didn't want to be in that serious of a relationship.
Maybe you just speed up the process.
Yeah, it did. Well, I mean,
in a way. I mean,
my
just
God.
like think about just not being quarantined and maybe just realizing this in a year or maybe 2. I don't know. At least you know what you don't want.
it didn't take me that long to figure out I didn't want it.
What?
It didn't take me a year to find out I didn't want to be in a relationship.
All right. Okay.
Thanks for sharing. And by the way, my working station now is in a office room in the house, and my roommate, my housemate, is in the desk in front of mine. So every call for work, she has to put a background because otherwise she's gonna see 20 sex toys on my desk. And sometimes she leaves the camera on for a mistake, and people make fun of her because they see 20 sex toys on a table all the time. So no matter if we just see around any sex toy, I like them as a design thing to put around the house.
Is there anybody else that would like to share? Thanks everyone for sharing, by the way.
I guess, hi everybody. I guess I came here to share like the most miserable experience ever I got during the lockdown. I don't know if you can hear me well. I think Eleonora already knows a bit about the story. I used to date this person like few weeks before the lockdown. We used to live very close to each other. It was very hot, let's say that. So after the lockdown, it was like, why don't you come to my place? And I was like, no, we shouldn't. Oh, please, I mean, just come. And I was in some ways very thrilled that he wanted me so bad. And this situation went on for like 2 months, kind of every day, let's say. I used to go to his place, but eventually we never had sex. So yeah, so I like could have been fined, let's say, every day, and I put myself at risk without having sex. That was super fail from my side. Well, he had this pleasure, let's say, but I didn't have anything in return. So I took this far, like for 2 months. At some point I was like, okay, I think I'm done. At first I was curious, like, to see where this would have gone, you know, like how long can it take to like stop this process? But after 2 months, I realized it will go like this forever. So I was like, okay, I still feel sorry because I used to like this guy very much. And I used to like this domination game at some way, but eventually it was very miserable for me. So that's my lockdown story.
Thank you for sharing this very hard feelings, and I'm happy for you that now you are aware of all of this. And like we said before, for Mimi, maybe it would have taken longer for you to find out if it was just another person in your life, and you became the person you saw every day in this situation, and it squeezed out something that you didn't want. So
Exactly.
that's cool that now you know what you don't want. Thanks for sharing very personal thing. I respect it.
Thank you for not judging me too, you know.
But at least did you enjoy the time before?
What?
Did you enjoy
the
before,
lockdown?
Before the meeting?
Like a long time?
Mm-hmm.
No, because I was very frustrated, you know. I was like, what's going on? Am I wrong? What's, you know, I was like,
All right.
not really enjoying.
Okay.
I kind of, you know, right now I kind of like lose interest in it because I thought I was so frustrated for 2 months, and now I don't feel like confident with myself anymore. So I think it will take a bit before getting back to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But where are you based?
In Rome.
Okay, it's a beautiful place. You have shipping on me if you need a sex toy. The shipping.
A really close friend of mine bought many things from my
sex
store.
toys.
Yeah, she was
Work
very
your
happy.
own pleasure. Love yourself. You deserve it right now.
A really good friend of mine bought many things from WOVO in the last few weeks. She was very pleased with the customer care. She was very happy about it.
The customer care, girl. You know, there are people that call at the phone and they want to talk specifically with her. Maybe Frida is answering the phone, you know, and she said, no, you can talk with me. I'm the owner. Like, you can say whatever. And they said, no, there is this guy, this girl, Beatrice. I want to talk to her with beautiful voice. And she has, like, we are so, like, lucky to have her. She's like, so, she treats like everybody like they would have liked to be treated, like, and she's so
yeah, she was very happy about it. She was asking, you know, bra size and everything, and she was very pleased with it.
Yeah, bra size. Let's talk about bras for 30 seconds and then we say goodbye because we're over time. Bras are the most like hard thing to find, and sizing is so hard. And still, like at WOVO, we have only very special few items, but the one we have a lot of sizes, and I'm happy that we can help people, because online you cannot try it on, and I would never buy a bra without try it on.
Are you going to link us to your information in your site so we can?
Yes, I'm gonna do it in the chat right now.
Thank you so much. I don't think I've worn a bra in a long time because I haven't needed to.
Same here.
What did you say?
I haven't had a reason to like leave my house or wear a bra, so I don't think I've worn one in a long time. I don't even know anymore cups wise.
Oh, I feel you. And on Instagram, we are WOVO_store. And you have to really write down the name on the gram if you want to find us, because we're in shadow ban, so we don't appear on the search most of the time. So yeah, we have also this bad luck with this thing, but yeah.
Oh wait, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys design your latex? Like, I've been following you guys actually for a long time, and when Leila said you're coming out, I was like, is it WOVO store? But do you guys design your latex outfits?
Yes.
Because they're so awesome. I just wanted you guys to know. They're like my favorite.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, we do. We do. Last year was like a big production of latex. We push it a lot. We are just now slowing down a little bit with latex because I don't know if you know the material, but it's got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Commercially. So it's like a pain in the ass. And so we rather like just slow it down a little bit because we had so many colors, like almost, I don't know, 25 colors in the selection. So it was a bit of a nightmare, but it's fun, so much fun.
But it's even better now, the situation, because, you know, before we had an internal production, so we took care of the buying of the raw latex sheets, and we did sizing for everybody. Like in that year, people got a made-to-measure thing for, how was it, 45 euros? Like you
Nothing. Yes, like it was a gift.
It was a gift. I mean, like at Zara, you need the outfit. You pay the same amount of money if you need a special outfit for a night, you know. And it was made to measure most of the time. And then the problem and the opportunity was that we got many big clients like Gucci, Numero 21, OMC. We did the Daniel Johnston collection. I don't know if you saw the Daniel Johnston stuff on fashion, but we did that collection, and our latex bags were designed with Daniel Johnston stuff. I cried when I discovered this, because Daniel Johnston is the love of my life. Like, imagine having a boyfriend I want to marry. It looks like Daniel Johnston. I know it's weird. But basically, that was a lot of work, and we couldn't handle it. We're a small company. Like, how many are we now? 7, 8?
7.
Yeah, and plus, you know, many people that work with us, but we're small. We are a bottega, we say, Italian craftsmanship shop. Like, it's small. So the production of latex is externalized right now, and that's a very good compromise, because we can do just our thing and, you know, have this. She's called Francesca. I'm gonna link you afterwards her Instagram. It's amazing. We can do just our own latex now. It's so much better.
Yeah, we did for Kim Kardashian, guys. I mean,
exactly.
There was a thing.
we have to swag this. We always forget to tell to people this thing.
It's
because she wore the wrong size. We are a bit ashamed because she wore the wrong size in one photo. One is nice, but the other one, she's very evidently a smaller size. And we felt so bad, because if we knew, we would have sent the right size, you know, but she didn't buy her own. So, yeah. But we never shared. We never shared it. We are so lame.
No.
Like, whatever. That's it. I don't know. We're over time. Maybe some people have stuff to do. It's like 2.
Yeah, I think that like we just reached the 1 hour time. So
yeah.
Thank you, everyone. This was fun. Thanks to
So fun.
everybody shared.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Please text us on Instagram so we can keep in touch.
Thank you.
Ciao.
And
Bye.
bye, everyone. Have a good
Bye
day.
bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.